Welcome, Totem Pole Nation. This is Lambo from Totem Pole. We have a big special guest. We're talking about the TikTok sensation. We're talking about the youngest entrepreneur in the game, my man Coby. I'm telling you, this man is all about mindset. He's all about greatness, and he has his own course. Create your existence. What do you want to be in life? I randomly found this dude off TikTok. I've watched his live streams and whatnot, but I had to bring the guy in because this guy is 18 years old. I'm 24. We could probably somewhat relate, but this guy, he is something. Coby, tell Totem Pole about yourself.
Oh, I just want to say thank you for the intro. I
Yeah.
appreciate the enthusiasm and the energy. I'm 18 years old. For my age, I live on my own. I have my own house. I run all these different businesses, and I do practically all forms of social media. And everything that I do is revolved around teaching people how to develop a better mindset and create a life of their own creation. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they don't have the right mentality. They have the ability and they have the want, but they don't know how to actually take action and execute to achieve things that they want to achieve. And so that's where I come in. I kind of teach you how to, I guess, establish a better mindset, good philosophies, good core principles that allows them to elevate themselves to the next level.
That's good. Now, I want to, Totem Pole Nation. I really want y'all to really understand this because we have a life lessons podcast as well that features me, Coach Bald, and Coach Taylor, and we talked about life lessons as far as basically anything goes. But I gotta ask you this, Coby. What made you start this what made you start your whole website? And then when I peeping your TikTok lives as well, you talked about having a mindset where you didn't want the easy way, you want the hard way. You wanted started from the ground and you wanted to go up. So what made you start this whole platform? What made you have your own website? When did you first start your own business and whatnot?
I think the biggest place to start off to understand is complacency, which you've probably heard a lot. When you get comfortable, you're less likely to want to reach the next level. You're less likely to want to do this, want to do that. But I guess, and it's not everything that I've done is something that you could just do overnight in a day. It takes time to build. You have to establish the foundation, establish, as I said, core principles. And I guess it's just over time building up and building it up. But what really, I guess, set the tone and set the pace was about 6 months ago. I've been living on my own. Actually, today marks 6 months since living on my own.
Wow.
And so it's just crazy. But I guess that day that my parents moved out, I guess that really set the tone to where, okay, it's go time. I have that pressure. I have to sustain myself. I have to survive to an extent. And I guess it just set it off from there. Then it's just slowly growing. Like I didn't do any social media until I lived on my own. I started then, just started growing and growing, similar to how your social media is. And it's just about growing every single day, meeting new connections, establishing new mindsets, and learning. I didn't know how to make a website. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to talk properly. And even then, I'm still learning how to improve my speech every single day. I could barely speak to adults up until living on my own. And so I've made tremendous growth in just 6 months. And so every single day, imagine if I just continue to improve, continue to reach the next level. And there wasn't really a specific moment where I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. It's just over time. I guess if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. If I want to start a business, why would I not start it? Oh, well, this prevents me. Oh, I can't do it because of this. No, I just started then and there because I want to start it. And so whatever I want to do, I just do. And I feel that's what holds a lot of people back is they don't follow their passion. They do things that they don't want to do and waste their time. And time is the most valuable currency. Sure, currently this very second, I'm not a multi-billionaire. Or I don't have all this money, cars, but obviously I have a roof over my head and I'm able to sustain myself. I'm making an impact on people's lives. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. And it's just about that legacy is what drives me.
That I think that's a very good answer. Now, getting a little bit deeper. I want you, like I said, I want you to be very, very honest. Now, we all go through stuff in life, right? We all got anxiety. We all got mental problems. We all have that stuff, right? But have you ever got into a situation, or do you ever like observe or see a situation, like maybe let's say for example, if you ever got into a situation like with your website or whatnot, that somebody always uses mental health as an excuse for you to not like do something, or for you to not, you know, change your thought process. Because I think it's the same thing when I coach football, where we tell a player says they can't do this and they can't do that, but it's like everybody wants to be LeBron James, Michael Jordan, but they don't want to put in the work. They don't know what's going on, outside the doors. The saying that people, grind behind closed doors. How did you ever get in that situation yourself before you started, where you just had a weak mindset or played that victim mentality, where it's just like this person's fault is just, I'm not this guy? Have you ever had that victim's mentality?
So I think that your habits dictate your subconscious thoughts. What you tell yourself, day after day, you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm sad, I'm depressed. If you tell yourself these negative things, then they're going to be true. You have full control over your existence. You have full control, hence the name Create Your Existence. You have full control over everything. And so obviously when I was younger, I used to complain all the time. I don't like school. I don't like this, rather than focusing on the positives. But I'd say ever since I left school, I've been developing this unbreakable mindset, and I'm still developing it as we speak. But I'm at the point now where nothing can phase me. Currently, I'm on the verge of being homeless if I don't get stuff sorted. But it puts pressure on me, and I'm not stressed. I have pressure on me, but I'm not stressed. And all it does is it allows me to grow. I learn from every single situation. And habitually in my mind, I know that if anything goes wrong, I learn from the experience. So I can't lose. I either learn or I win, and learning is counted as a win. And as cliche as it sounds, it's so true, but people don't live by it. I have full control over my mind. I have full control if I'm happy. I have full control if I'm sad. And to an extent, I know I said this the other day, and a lot of people, I got hate for it, but I don't think depression itself is a real thing. I think you could be depressed, but to the second you categorize yourself as a sad person, then you're going to be a sad person in general. I think you have full control over your emotion and your mindset, but you have to learn to just relax and control your own mind. It's all in your head, because it's not a physical thing that's altering you. And I think, at least with me, and I'm not saying everybody should have this mindset, but everything is my own fault, good or bad. I take full 100% accountability for everything that goes wrong or good in my life, no matter what, because at the end of the day, I allowed things to happen. I allowed it. If something goes wrong with my house, I chose to live in the house. That's my own fault. I can't put the blame on anything else. If someone breaks into my house, I allowed that to happen to an extent. And when you do give yourself this amount of power, it allows you to have more control over yourself. And especially as a man, it allows you to, it allows you to have control to where nothing can phase you. Bad stuff is bound to happen, but when you have this mindset, you have control over it.
You're not wrong. Now, tell us of, tell Totem Pole Nation, and tell everybody in America how to grow, your TikTok. We previously had videos on how to grow a YouTube channel, and there's some guys that have bigger TikToks and Instagrams. Not saying numbers is a key thing, but tell the people out there, how you started from zero on TikTok, 0 followers. Like you said, you didn't do social media. You probably just a random kid, just being your own world or whatnot, which is not bad, but you changed your mindset. Just tell us how you build up that social media. How did you build up that TikTok, and how fast did it take you to get to 12.4K views, and you're trying to aim at 20K? That's your next goal, right?
Yeah, and I think so. The biggest thing is, what value are you providing? Why should somebody watch your content instead of somebody else? And I'm very new, 12,000 is a lot. I'd say in 6 months, I'm very proud of it. And I think it's a lot, but in the big game of TikTok and the way that social media works, 12,000 is, it's not a lot, but I think it's just providing value. So many people post similar content to what I post, but the thing is what separates it. With me personally, I feel like what separates me is my energy. Nobody has my energy. I feel like a lot of people, they speak similar things, but I feel like they don't have as much passion for it. And they're trying to just, yes, I have an online course, a community, but it's not how to get rich quick. A lot of people, they're just trying to sell you a product, and that's it. They're trying to make money off of you. But with me, I have true passion for what I do. I care so much about everything that I do. And I say that's what really, separates me from other people, and what how all these other people who do become successful. It's the value that you are providing. What value do you give? Why should somebody watch your content instead of somebody else's content? Because there's millions of people posting content every day. New people are joining social media. So you're going to have to figure out what separates you from the crowd. And technically speaking, your competition is everybody. So it's find out what separates you from the crowd and how you can capitalize on it. And one video can change everything. I'm just going to say that. I have yet to hit that video yet, but one video can change everything. So it's just a matter of fact on being consistent with it and seeing what happens and learning the game. It's always changing. Social media wise, it's always changing. 2 years ago, just by posting, you'd go viral, but that's just not how it works nowadays. You have to think outside the box, and you have to be original and unique. If you're doing what everyone else does, then you're not going to succeed. And same applies with making money as well. I'm not saying that doing drop shipping, SMMA is a bad thing. I think if you're good at it, I think capitalize on it. But if everybody else is doing that same thing, the market's going to be saturated, and only but a few amount of people are actually going to be successful. So I think being able to stand out and doing things, not just because other people are successful at it, but because it makes you successful and it's your passion. I think if you have a passion for something, you're going to be 10 times more successful than if you're doing it because it's everyone else is doing it. So
now, what made you have the heart to do all this? Like you have a big heart at a young age. What made you have that heart and say, okay, let me create a Discord for, everybody. Let me create a Discord, the mentorship. Like, how did all that just started? Like, was this your first thing that you wanted to do? Did you ever think of this mentorship as a thing, or did you have something else in mind that you wanted to do as far as social media?
So I think it's everything that I've done, I've been wanting to do for years since I was a young kid. I'm like, wow, it'd be so cool if I did this or if I did that. And now that I'm 18 years old and I have the freedom, it's just about actually taking action and executing. That's the big thing that I speak about is taking action. A lot of people, they have goals, they have dreams, but they fail to do anything about it. And so they live life wasting their time, not achieving their goals. And so I guess a big thing that I always tell myself in the back of my mind is the word legacy. Like legacy. That word, just like the name of my online course and community is literally create your legacy. Because it means so much to me. Just the word, it's just the average person lives life being a random number and statistic. They work a job they don't want to work. They're not happy. And they basically, the system uses you for their personal gain, let you reproduce, and then you're done. Throw you in the trash. And so I guess creating a legacy for yourself leaves an impact, and it allows you to live forever to an extent. Obviously, it's just the word legacy. It's what do I want to be remembered by? What impact do I truly want to make? And the things that I'm doing right now, I've been wanting to do since I was like 4 years old. Like I've always been wanting to do this stuff, make an impact on people. And then yes, financial freedom is a part of that, but that's not why I do what I do. That's just a side factor that allows me to do more of what I want to do. I want to be able to travel the world, have in-person events. I don't want to be known for just doing one specific thing. There's so many things that I do as well that, I haven't even mentioned that I do behind the scenes, that I'm working on behind the scenes, that in the next year, 2 years, things are going to get even crazier, and I'm only getting started. So it's just one of those things where just working hard every single day, keeping that consistency.
Tell us about your favorite David Goggins quote or message, because you mentioned David Goggins in one of your TikTok streams, so you love that man. Tell what is your favorite message from David Goggins?
I mean, it's just similar to having that unbreakable mindset. It's just, for example, when he able to run all these miles without giving up when it's hot, when you don't want to give up and you continue to work hard. It's just, there's so many days where I wake up and I don't want to work. There are days when I wake up and I don't want to do social media. I'm like, bro, I can't be asked. I don't want to work, but you have to push through it. Days when you want to work and days when you don't want to work. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, everybody's working harder than you. If I want to get to where I want to get to, I'm going to have to work extremely hard. I'm going to have to work harder than anybody else. And so I understand that. And with David Goggins specifically, I mean, the memes about him are funny. Like, I love that. Like, who's going to carry the boats? Like, it's just, all the memes about him are funny as well. But it's true at the end of the day. All these people off of social media, it's just, you can see them as characters, I guess, in this whole self-improvement game. And the biggest thing is just, that consistency and working hard when you don't want to work, learning to use adversity as a tool, because life isn't easy. There's going to be times where things are going to be challenging, things aren't going to go your way, and that's just life. But it's about using these to your advantage. You learn and grow from every single situation, and when adversity hits your life, you conquer it and you learn and you reach the next level that you never thought you could have get to. If I told myself I would be doing what I'm doing right now 6 months ago, I wouldn't have thought about that. Obviously, these things were things I had planned, but I didn't think I'd get this far so quick. And keep on, I'm not saying I'm anybody right now. I am just a random kid on the internet, as I say all the time. So don't get that image that I think I'm this random guy. I'm as big as some of these other people. But I think it's just, I am just a random 18-year-old kid at the end of the day. But I'm making an impact. And so when you think about it, it's just very crazy. And I'm very thankful. I say all this all the time. I'm very thankful and appreciative to be where I'm at now and do the things that I do.
I think I can learn. I learned from you a lot because you're 18, I'm 24. It's a 6-year age gap, but the age gap doesn't matter. The point that I want to bring to, I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was 18. Okay, I spent a lot of money. I had a job. I had a good job. I worked at Amazon. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know whether I wanted to do YouTube or not because I was kind of up and down. At first, I wanted to be an overseas basketball player, but I wasn't disciplined and I was out of shape and all that other stuff. I didn't really love the game. The way you love social media and the way you put 110% in your all to impacting people's lives. The way that I played basketball to get my love the game of basketball, I didn't really love it. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of thing. So I felt like I disrespected the game of basketball at the time between 18 and 20 years old. And I think for the past 5 years, I've made dumb decisions, getting fired from jobs and whatnot, and didn't have a car, didn't have a license, and all that other stuff. So me listening to you, watching from you, I've learned a lot because you're taking advantage of opportunities that other people basically mess up on at the age. Like recently, I just now got myself situated to the point where I'm good. But it's like at your age, you're 18. Not saying that you don't mess up, but you have that wise mindset that you're taking advantage of every opportunity. While at 18 years old, everybody's partying, everybody's gambling, everybody's, wasting their time, like you said. It's okay to have fun, but you're in like that. You're like 18 years old, but you have like a 30-year-old mindset. Like you really want to get after it. It's basically do or die now, I guess. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where obviously, I'm not going to go into it in depth. I mean, unless people want me to, but obviously, I'm on the verge of being homeless right now. If I don't either make enough money or basically get a roommate to an extent, and it's just, as I said, it puts pressure. So I literally am fighting for my life, and it's just one of those things where, I've always since I was a kid, I've always told myself, live a kid as an adult. So when you become an adult, you can live it like a kid, and it's just one of those things where there's a reason why I work so hard on what I do now, and I'm very new. There's much for me to learn. I'm very new to everything that I do. I'm learning how to do this, X, Y, and Z. And as I am only 18 years old, but obviously I am taking advantage of my youth. I'm taking massive advantage. I get a lot of criticism. They're saying, well, you're only 18 years old. How can you give advice? How can you help change people's lives? And my answer to you is, okay, well, why does it matter if I'm able to help people? At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters, right? So it seems like there's a lot going on with the individual as a person where they give value to a person just because of their age. And yes, on average, when you're older, you do know more, you tend to have more experiences, but that doesn't always matter at the end of the day. And so I think it's just showing what I can do now and getting things started. Like, as I said, I'm just establishing the foundation. Like I'm saying, I'm here. This is what I want to do. And this is what I'm capable of. And then it's just about actually taking action and showing, instead of just, because a lot of people, they tend to say, especially young people nowadays, they get stuck in this false improvement trap, self-improvement trap. They say they consume videos like mine that say, do this, be successful, work out, develop a good mindset, be strong, be the man that you were supposed to be. But they never actually do so. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that I'm actually doing is I'm showing you that this is what I want to do, and I'm showing you that I'm taking action. Like, I'm Coby, and I'm solidifying my place in the scene. So, even though I am young, I feel like there's a lot for me to learn, but it's just doing what I can do right now. I'm maximizing my youth as much as possible, because how many people would die to be the age that I'm at now? I mean, and I'm even having that same image to people who are still in school. I wish I could go back in school and just, not have any responsibilities and mess around all day. And people who are 30 wish they could go back in my age and live the same way. So I feel like I understand this at a young age, and I'm very thankful and blessed, and I don't want to take it for granted.
Have you ever heard the saying, it's better to measure a thing 10 times and cut once than to measure once and cut 10 times? What does that mean to you? And have you ever heard that saying before?
I've never heard it before, but I mean, I think it's just one. Say it again.
So it's better to measure a thing 10 times and cut once than to measure once and cut 10 times.
I think if I'm interpreting that the right way, I think it's just, I guess, making sure that things are the way that they're supposed to be, and not just, I guess, kind of BSing your way through stuff and just, oh, it'll work eventually. But it's just, solidifying yourself now and doing what you can.
I like that. I got a quick question. Do you do anything else besides social media? Like, do you play video games? Do you watch any sports? Any other similar interests that you do outside of this?
So I'd say most of the time I'm either working. I have a physical job at a trampoline park. I'm either working there or I'm at home working. I'll play video games every now and then, but for the most part, I don't have the time. I'm either live, I'm, posting content, I'm working on my businesses, I have mentorship, I have meetings, I'm working all the time. And so when I make sure I do give myself time every single night to meditate and relax. I journal, I meditate, and I work out every single day. I primarily train in boxing. So, if anyone put me on that YouTube boxing. But yeah, like I said, I don't really have much free time, but when I do, I do my best to. I'm very good at utilizing my time. I have a good balance, but I'm just working pretty much all the time.
24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, me and you, have the same 24 hours, but it's what you do with the 24 hours, because the system is messed up. The work system is messed up. You work for 8 hours, you go home, you have about, let's say, for example, I watched some video. It was some guy saying, you work for 8 hours, then you take about 5 hours or maybe 8 hours to yourself. Not even 8 hours. You may take about, let's say, 6, right? You take three of those hours to maybe spend time with your family and your kids. Then you take maybe 4 of those hours to maybe yourself, or maybe to go to the gym and whatnot. And the same thing with my schedule. It's I work, I post content on here, I go to the gym for 5 hours. As soon as I get home, I take a shower, go to sleep, do that all over again. People don't understand how fast 24 hours is. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of 8 hours to do whatever you want to do, 8 hours of sleep. It goes by just like that. And there's people out there that they really don't get it. It's people keep saying, "Oh, 24 hours is long." Well, we're in 2023 right now. You're not surprised that we're already in July of 2023 of how fast a year can go by. Like, we went from, January 1st, New Year's Day, everybody celebrates and whatnot, to, oh, right now we in July. We almost in, fall season, almost at Labor Day. My thing to you is, and I think it's going to be hard to really answer the question, maybe, or ask the question. My thing to you is, do you want to be the greatest on social media, like the greatest of all time?
So and that's a very interesting question, because my mindset is, I want to be the greatest at, me personally. I have the best mindset of everybody in the entire world. I'm the happiest. I'm the most motivated. I'm the most energetic. Nobody can compete with me. And whether that's true or not true doesn't matter, because that's what I believe. And what I believe is true. in this present moment. And so I think that there are so many things I want to do. And yes, I want to be the greatest. That is my goal. Now, the greatest might mean different things to different people. I wouldn't say my goal is to be the greatest person on social media, because I don't want to be known for the I don't want to be known for the greatest for having the most people consume content to. Because at the end of the day, even though I post content every day, I don't want people just consuming content all day. So I'd say I don't necessarily want to be the greatest social media sense. I want to be the greatest in doing what I do and making an impact. I want to make the biggest impact possible. Obviously right now my name's Coby. I'm a random 18-year-old kid, but watch me in 10 years. Watch the things that I do. Watch the levels that I make, the moves that I make. I want to show that you could. I could do entertainment industry. I can do motivation. I can do product sales. I can do no matter what the case is. I can do traveling. No matter what the case is, I want to show you that I can do it. If there's something that I want to do and I want to achieve, anytime I put my mind to something, I always win, and I always get it. And I feel like a lot of people, they give up the second something gets hard and challenging. And I think, yes, obviously I want to be the greatest in everything it is that I do. But I wouldn't say there's one thing that I want to, I guess, narrow it down to. But I guess as a whole, I want to be the greatest person, like the best human being I could possibly be. I want to make the biggest impact possible. And, it's not going to happen if I'm wasting my time.
Right. I definitely agree with that. Now let me ask this: what is your biggest critic, or what is your biggest thing that people hate you for? And since you started your own thing, have you lost a lot of people since you started your own thing? Because like you said back then, you're an 18-year-old kid, and people were like, "Why would we take advice from a 18-year-old kid?" Did you? How did you? Let's say how did you feel, and how much criticism did you get, and did you lose any close friends that you used to have, and where are you at right now?
So before I go into the biggest criticism, what I will say is, I graduated high school a year early. I took advanced classes and I was able to graduate. So I did public school all the way up to my freshman year. During my freshman year, COVID hit, and I used that as an excuse to leave school, obviously, because I could play video games all day. So I left school. Obviously, the only thing that sucked is I couldn't play sports. I played football, soccer, and track. I had a dip. That's the only negative thing that I got from not going to school. So I didn't drop out. I did online school. And then I was like, wait, I'm taking college advanced classes, but I don't even want to go to college. So why am I even here? Why not graduate a year early and then do my own thing? So I graduated a year early. And when I did leave school, I'd say I was friends with pretty much everybody. I didn't really have any enemies. I want to call me a popular kid, but I fit in every category. But I did whatever I want. I played sports. I was cool. I could talk to anyone. It's very hard to hate me. But since leaving, I talked to maybe 2 people from school. And so I guess it's because I see that, no, I don't have any hatred for anybody, because I wish nothing but the best. But it's just one of those things where, not everybody adds value. And at the end of the day, you should be surrounding yourself with people who want to see you succeed and want to give you the benefit, who you should be surrounding yourself with. And I guess the biggest criticism that I get is me being just my age. People hate me because I'm 18 years old. They hate that I have my life together more so than most adults do. The fact that I'm only 18 years old. I have a house. I have businesses. I do social media. And I'm the most positive person. People hate me for that. And it's very crazy. And I'd say it shows more about the person who says that more so than it does me. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing nothing but spreading positive energy. I've had I get death threats, and I'm being serious. I have people who they say these hateful things to me because I'm an 18-year-old kid. They're like, "You don't know anything. You'll never make it. You're gonna die off." Blah blah blah. This and that. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
Who hurt you? And I talked about this in Create Your Legacy in my online course and community. I talk about this, and I show screenshots, and I show my responses. I respond with nothing but positive energy. I say, if I'm here, it's okay. I know that you're hurt. I know that you're damaged. I'm always here for you. Seriously. Even though I know that you want me dead, I'm always here for you no matter what, because of the fact that I know that you are where you are at in life because of your thought process, because of everything that's happened in the past has led you to this present moment. And so if I was in your shoes, I think the same way. And I'm just very thankful and blessed that I'm where I'm at in life. And so that's why I don't have hatred for anybody. No matter how nasty you are to me, how hateful you are, as long as you do not pose a physical threat towards me, I have no hatred or negativity towards you. I have no hatred towards anybody. I don't care what you say, what you think of me. That's perfectly okay. But I just think it's very crazy the fact that people have so much hatred for me because I'm 18 years old. And I say all the time, I am learning every day. I am just an 18-year-old kid. So it's just it says a lot about the individual. But
first of all, I think that's kind of wild because I mean it's motivation. I mean, how does somebody hate motivation? How does somebody hate what you do? I think what you do on TikTok is fantastic. I just randomly found you. Like I said, I randomly be finding people. I think what you do on TikTok and other social media is fantastic. I mean, I'm older than you, but I've learned from it because I messed up at your age. It's not even just about age, but it's like if I get in the same situation maybe a week later as you do right now, then I can learn from it and take notes from it. I mean, how do people just hate on that and get death threats? I mean, Jesus, you're not Kim Kardashian or Tom Brady.
I think a big thing, as I said before, is your habits dictate your subconscious thoughts. So if you are sad in your own life, if you hate this, you hate that, you're wasting your time, you're devoting energy towards people on social media, then naturally that's how people develop a negative mindset. And as I said, anybody can change, and it's as easy as that. And I've loved my time on social media. I love engaging with people, even the negative people. Like, I love when people troll me and mess with me. I think it's fun because I used to do the same back in the day. Like, it's just, game's the game. And I feel like at the end of the day, you're talking to people on the other side of the screen. As long as they do not pose a physical threat towards you, I have no negativity or hatred. Like, if someone breaks into my house, best believe it's going to be a long day. And but you can hate on me, say this, say that, think whatever you want, because, I think you have every right to think the way that you want. You can disagree with everything I say, and I respect you for it. I have no hatred, nothing. So it's just, I think it's just crazy the way that social media works nowadays. And it's just, people have such a negative mindset. And that's why I do what I do. I want to catch you off guard with a video that you see of mine. They're like, wow, that is an interesting perspective. But then I want to get you off of social media. So it's really funny. I want to grow on social media, but I want you to get off of social media. So it's an interesting dynamic and kind of mindset I have. But I think there's nothing wrong with being on social media. There's nothing wrong with consuming content. But as long as you are, one, aware on what you are consuming. I say all the time, if you can't remember the past 5 videos you just watched, what are you doing on social media? You're mindlessly consuming. And also, are you producing more than you are consuming? At least with me, I feel like, and I don't mean you have to be a social media creator. I'm not saying that that's what you have to do to be successful. But what I am saying is that you should at least be doing something in your life to reach the next level. And this is where people get stuck in this motivational self-improvement trap. If you're doing nothing but consuming motivational videos that tell you good things and motivate you, but you're not doing anything, you need to do something. You have to get up and do something. I don't care what it is. Like, you can't be consuming content all day. People get more validation from the thought of them doing something rather than them actually achieving it. So that is my biggest thing. And that's a big thing and people don't like it when I say that. They're like, I'm trying my best. I can't do this because of this right now. It doesn't matter. You have to do, if you want to get to where you want to get to in life, it's going to be hard. You're going to have adversity. The idea of you achieving success is fun. It gives you energy and motivation, but you have to actually do it in order for things to come to fruition. It's not one of those things where you go to bed and you wake up one morning and you're in paradise. You got to work for it, but people don't want to work for it. People are incapable of doing so, and they are capable of doing so, but because of their habits and what they tell themselves, they're incapable.
What does the word adversity mean to you? Because we hear the saying overcome adversity, but I think people don't really understand what adversity means.
And so I'm going to speak from the point of view of a man. Okay, I mean, obviously, women can learn this as well. Go ahead. I think as a man, right, you have to hold yourself to a standard. In order for you to grow in life, you have to face adversity. Nobody lives through life on easy mode. I don't care, even if you're rich. If you're born into $1 million family, you get $1 million issues. Everybody faces some sort of issues and some type of adversity, and you learn from them. But people who ignore these issues, people who live life, it'll fix itself, or I'll just cover it up. it's covering up a gunshot with a Band-Aid. You're putting a Band-Aid over a much bigger problem. And so no matter what, you're going to have to fight something in life. Something's going to happen and you're going to have to fight back. It is either your own mind or it is adversity to get what you want. Regardless, you're going to fight something. And that's just that's life. This is survival. You know, even though we are humans and we have conquered the planet, we're still animals at the end of the day. We got to fight for survival. And so I think a big thing is you're going to have to face adversity. Adversity is challenge. We are meant to overcome challenges and reach the next level. And so it's just use it as a tool. Why would you give something more power over yourself than yourself? You are the creator of your own existence. You dictate and control every single aspect of your life. And so this applies to negative things. And this is why, for example, if you need money, guess what? You got to go make some money. If you have a negative mindset, you got to get yourself a positive mindset. And I'm telling you right now, if you truly, truly want something, if you want something so bad deep down and you're hungry for it, you will find a way. You are going to find a way. However, if you don't achieve what you want throughout your life and you aren't successful in your own eyes, it means that you didn't want it enough. And I don't care what anybody says. People don't like to hear that because a lot of people, they like to hear that, oh, well, you know, everybody's a winner. As long as you tried and gave it your all, that's all that matters. You will find a way. If you truly want something, you will find a way. I don't care what anybody says. You are going to have to find a way. And I mean, look at me and I'm not trying to flex, but me as an 18-year-old kid, I have a house, you know, and having responsibility over this house applies pressure. People think, oh, well, he's rich because he has businesses. He does social media. Oh, surely he must have money. He has his own house. He must be caked out in money. No. I mean, I'm by no means rich. I'm probably one of the poorest people you'll ever meet because all of my money goes towards my house. I have no money to go have fun. I can't, if I want to go to a water park, I can't just go buy tickets. I don't have that type of money. And so I feel like living through adversity as an 18-year-old kid, it teaches you a lot, especially, and a lot of people, and I'm very thankful. I have a roof over my head. At the end of the day, I'm very thankful and blessed. But I'd say one of the biggest adversity that I've faced living on my own is food. I don't have mom to make me food every night. I don't have mom to bring me food like, oh, here, I made you some pasta. I made you this. No, I got to scavenge for my own or scavenge for myself. And so I think that learning this at a young age has taught me a lot. I've learned how to cook. I've never cooked anything in my entire life since living on my own. And even then, all I know how to cook is like pasta and operate a microwave. Like I'm very unintelligent when it comes to cooking. But it teaches you. It teaches you adversity. What's going to happen when mom leaves? What's going to happen when dad leaves? Who's going to be there? Nobody but yourself. You need to have full faith and control of your own life from within. And you could call it spiritual, mental, and physical. You have to have control over it. You have to have control. And it takes a lot of self-discipline, especially, and this is where I say as a man, you must learn how to control yourself. Because in a true relationship, a woman isn't going to care about you if you can't control yourself. They need someone to support them, if that makes sense, to have a true, and I'm not saying physically, but I'm saying mentally, I guess, like emotionally back and forth, right? You have to be able to hold yourself to a certain standard. Facts don't care about your emotions. I'm not saying suppress your emotions, but only radiate positive ones. And so I'm always energetic. I'm always happy. You can ask people in my close circle. If you ask them, is Coby ever sad or upset? They'd say no. And I don't understand how. I don't understand how he's never upset. I don't understand how he's never stressed. It's because of what I tell myself. I've trained myself to only be happy. And if I tell myself I'm happy, I'm going to be happy. People say, oh, well, you're just suppressing your emotions. Okay, then why are you suppressing your happiness if you're depressed all the time? You're only telling yourself that you're sad. It makes zero sense. They say, oh, well, surely you're sad. Surely, you get sad every now and then. Surely you're depressed. No, I'm not. But why don't they say that to depressed people? Why don't they say, well, why are you suppressing your happiness? Why are you suppressing positive emotions? They don't say that because the system wants you depressed. And I'm not going to go deep into it, but it's just one of those things where I don't understand it. And it's because of what people tell them online. It's easier to be negative than positive. And I say this because if there is a line in front of you, there is a line on the right side and a berry bush on the left side. which one are you going to be more focused on primally, instinctively? A berry bush that could give you food, or a lion that's hungry? You're going to be more focused on the lion, which is a negative thing. So it's much more easier to think negative because it's for your own survival. But we don't live in a day and age where we have to worry about a lion. We live in a day and age where we're able to interact in a society where you can do practically anything you want. And other instinctive animals don't have that opportunity. So why are you thinking so negative? Why are you suppressing your positive emotions? Let yourself be energetic. Let yourself be all over the place. But the second someone becomes energetic and they become energized, they want to medicate them. No, don't be energetic. No, don't have passion for what you do. Don't be happy. You have to be monotone. You have to be normal. You have to go get a basic job and not be happy. We need people working jobs, but not everyone wants to do that. And so I think it just gets to a point of view where I am so energetic. I'm the most energetic person you'll probably ever come across. But the thing is I know how to control myself when I need to be under control. And they wanted to put me on medication. They said, oh, you have ADHD. Oh, you have autism. And I'm not even joking. When I was a small child, they actually said I had retardation. And I'm not over exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. They actually said that I had that. And maybe I do. Maybe I do have autism. Maybe I do have ADHD. But at the end of the day, why would I suppress any of these things? They say be yourself, but yet they want to medicate you. And I know this is getting kind of like a little bit of a rant, but I think it's one of those things where I don't suppress myself. I'm happy because I let myself be my true self. I do what I want. I follow my passion. If I want to start a business, I start a business. If I want to do social media, I do that social media. If I want to have a house, I'm going to get a house. If I want to travel, that's the next thing. If I want to go to Hawaii, I'm going to go to Hawaii. I made a vow myself 2 years since living on my own, I will be going to Hawaii. I'm going to bring people who are in Create Your Legacy. I'm going to bring those people with me. I'm going to pay for their flight. I'm going to pay for the hotel. I'm going to pay for their flight back. Everything else they can pay for. But I'm making this vow to myself because I hold myself to a standard. And if I want something, I will do everything in my power to make it happen. But
that's no. That's the way. Hold on. That's not a rant. That's being honest. That's not a rant, in my opinion. That's not a rant at all, because you're being honest and it is what it is. It's not even a rant. I want you to talk about this stuff because we need more people like you to talk about this anyway. So we need more people like you to talk and be honest. Because have you ever heard the saying in relationships, and when it comes to man and woman, like you said before, man, woman relationships, people say, oh, women always talk about they want an honest man until it's time for until they find one, and then they keep it 20 with them. But then when somebody brings the honesty, they don't like what you say. So it's like, do you want to be honest or do you not want to be honest? And the thing's the same thing with friendships and having certain brothers and certain people, like you said, your close circle. What's the point of, getting on your ass and whatnot and say, oh, I'm going to be real with you and whatnot, but you get mad when somebody tell you something? What's the point of that? Like,
so I think relationships wise, I think everybody has their own personal beliefs on how relationships should run. That is, I'm not saying this is how a relationship should be. So if anyone gets that misconstrued, I know you can have your relationship any way that you want. But me personally, I think the healthiest way to have a relationship, right, is having a good mixture of masculine energy and feminine energy. I believe, me personally, and this is my own personal relationship, I will make sure I'm able to provide for myself. I've had a girlfriend for 5 years now, and we've had a very good relationship, and it's continuing to go well. But at the end of the day, we both support each other. And she supports me, and I support her, and I do my best to provide and make sure that she's happy, that she's okay, and in return, she supports me. And so I think at the end of the day, I think it's about surrounding yourself with high value individuals, because we live in a day and age where people date just to date. They get in this toxic cycle. Oh, you said this. Oh, you're cheating. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Stuff that doesn't even matter. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, so I'm trying to not cuss. But so it's one of those things where a lot of people, they get in this toxic cycle over and over again, basically. And they're wondering, oh, all girls are the same. All these girls are hoes, blah, 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 this and that. And then, girls are, oh, all men are the same. They just want me for this. They just want me for that. The reasoning for this is because they surround themselves in toxic environments. It's all about the environment that you surround yourself in. If you're going to a club every single night, trying to get laid, what type of people do you think you're going to surround yourself with? It's as
Lay
easy as
people.
that. Why are people going to a bar in the first place? You think you're going to get longevity out of a bar? I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very unlikely. And so I think it's about the environment that you surround yourself with, and surround yourself with high value individuals. So me personally, this is why I cut out a lot of people from my life. And it's not that I hate them or it's just, I got to
You don't have time for that stuff.
Exactly. And so I think this also applies with men and women who want to be in relationships. I think don't date people, first off, just to date. And second off, you need to set your standards way before you even get into a relationship. And you need to understand that not everybody is going to be a strong man, a very supporting woman. But if you want to find those people, you got to put yourself in the right environments. Stop trying to find people off of Snapchat, online, but send, dating off of Snapchat. Oh, I got cheated on. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe because, she's talking to 50 million other dudes. Why is she on Snapchat in the first place? So you really got to think of things like that. And then they post on social media, I'm so depressed. All women are the same. No girl treats me right. No, maybe it's because you don't treat yourself right. You're not putting yourself in those right environments. And so I think that's just kind of, I know I'm kind of rambling, but I think that's just kind of my perspective on it is, what environment are you surrounding yourself in? Is it an environment that's full of people? And a lot of people ask, well, then where should I go? I think as a man, if you're chasing to try and get in a relationship, then you shouldn't be in a relationship in the first place. I think a relationship should flow natural. And I think you have to let things fall into place. You need to put yourself in those situations. Become a high value individual yourself. Dress nicely. Learn how to speak. Learn how to articulate yourself. Learn how to develop a strong mindset. Take control of your own life. Create your own existence. I feel like, and then put yourself in those environments. And those environments would be whether you're networking, if you travel to good areas where you'll find those types of people. I think going anywhere but a club is basically that. Anywhere but there's people who are wanting one thing and one thing only. Any other place, you're going to have a much higher success rate. But
final thing, before we end this final thing, what was the last what is the lesson that you remember from your mom and dad, and what was the last thing said when you figured out you had to move out on your own?
So, and I say the biggest thing that my parents have raised me and taught me since I was 2 years old is, one, no means no. And if you want something, you got to work for it. We're not going to hand you something for free. As much as we're your parents, we want to love and support you. We're not just going to hand you over things and that's it. And this is a very funny story, but I've only been grounded once my entire life. People call me, oh,
damn, that's better than me.
They say, oh, you're a goody good, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just because I know what's good from bad. I know what not to do. And so when I was about, I think it was 7 or 6 years old, I forgot to take the garbage out. And because before my mom's like, if you miss this and you can't play on your computer, I grounded myself for like 3 or 4 days and I did not touch my computer. And my mom's like, I would, you're fine. Like, we all forget right now. I'm like, no, Mom, I won't do it. But, and then she's like, the fuck did we do? What? Like, we raised this weird kid where like he grounds himself. And so I feel like they taught me discipline. That's basically what I'm trying to get at is discipline. I'm a very disciplined individual. If I know that something is wrong and I should not do it, I will not do it. But I won't do it not because they tell me it's a bad thing, because I know internally it's a bad thing. And this is where I know if I give in to complacency, I'm not going to get anything out of it. And so they taught me at a very young age, you're going to have to work for something. If I never asked, hey, can I have money? Can I buy this video game? Can I do this sport? What can I do to get this? Do I have to mow the lawn? Do I have to do this? Do I have to I never just asked for something. It was like, can I have this? Cool. Thank you. I'm on my way. I always, what can I do in exchange for this? And the final, what was the final question? What did they tell me? Or like, what was our final interaction?
What was the final interaction when you had to move out?
So the final interaction when my parents moved out was, went outside, hugged, like, bye, love you, this and that. And yeah, I was like, all right, I'm on my own. It's go time. Literally, I have I filmed it, and it's gonna be in my documentary. I'm creating a 10-year documentary from 18 years old to 28 years old.
Wow.
I'm 10 years
I
long, and
I
so
can't wait for that.
I'm gonna release this part is gonna be in it where basically I'm sobbing in tears because it really hit me in that moment. Before I'm like, I gotta be strong, but it hit me. It's like, wow, this is go time. You're on your own. Obviously, I'm in contact with my parents. I call them in every now and then, but you're on your own. You don't have a mom or dad to say, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? No, you're on your own. It's you're in survival mode now, and you gotta bust your ass off and work hard. And so, I hugged them goodbye, walked in, and it was like, wow, this is where it all starts. Yeah.
Well, Total Pole Nation, we got a good episode here featuring Lambo, featuring Coby. I'm telling you, create your existence. I'm trying to tell you, it's a good motivational thing. I think every person in America needs this. We're about to shut it down. Total Pole Nation was sponsored by St. Pete Rejuvenate, sponsored by Cultivated Wellness. Don't forget to get your CBD as well. And don't forget to follow Coby. Is Coby underscore go on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All right. And he goes live most of the time on TikTok. So if you peep him on TikTok with 12.5K, followers on TikTok, he will go live sometimes. You could take good notes. Take good notes. Please take good notes on this man. Also, don't forget to go on createyourexistence.net as well to go with the free course. And also, you create your legacy course. One of them is $30 as well. The other stuff I'm not going to say because you have to find out on your own. And also, if you need to reach the man, like I said, he has a one-on-one mentorship and he has a Create Your Existence Discord free server. So if you have any questions or concern, reach out to the man on the right and go follow Coby underscore go on YouTube as well. So Totem Pole Nation, it's a Totem Pole podcast. We'll be seeing you later on. We got more content on the way. Totem Pole Nation.